Hey, this is Dre with DBA Marketing Pros. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today at Shaking Hands with Your Ideal Clients. We're so grateful to have you. We have a lot of golden nuggets we want to share. And before we get started, go ahead and insert your state or city that you'd like to share with the community, where you're coming in from, where you're viewing this at, and we'll definitely be able to shout out some things, okay? Okay, I see North Carolina, of course, Virginia. Okay, New York, Texas. That's amazing. I love all those regions and locations. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot in store for you. And before I actually move forward, I want to share with you how I got started with actually focusing on the ideal client profiles. Whenever I was actually starting in corporate world, I learned a lot in marketing. And I got to the point where, I had a little business on the side that I was growing. And I eventually got to the point where I wanted to really understand marketing on a higher level where I can really communicate with the clients. And it seems like those questions was never answered by managers and also from other people who ran their own businesses that I ran into along the pathway. So eventually I got to a point where I started scaling in my business. And there's a time where there was a bottleneck where I ran into a challenge where the leads that was coming to me for me and my clients, it seems as if it wasn't the type of leads we want to work with. So let's look at the location they were in, the revenue level, the age bracket, the type of mindset we enjoy, right? So there's a number of factors of ideal, leads that we were aiming for, but the leads that was coming in was totally different from the messaging that we was pushing out. So this is where the ICP comes into play, the ideal client profiles. Along the way, I ran into a mentor who referred me to a friend of theirs named Patrick. He lived in Virginia. I went up there, had a good few moments with him, probably a couple hours. We was just chatting about marketing. We both had a love for it. And he's, multi-million dollar in business. And it was just rejuvenating just to listen about his experiences and how his clients loved him. And it was all due to the ICP, the research. There's so much power in research and gaining understanding and doing your diagnosis first and then giving tactics. The strategy is so important. And that's what ICP is all about, the ideal client profile. And that's what I'm here to tell you about today because I've seen it exercised in my own clients where some of my guys who do 40K over a month in revenue, they knew their ICP, their marriage. They're focused on marriage and their messaging, and they find more clients who are focused on marriages, and that's what they push in their messaging, in their content, in their videos is marriages, and so that draws those type of clients to them to be able to work with them because that's the type of clients they want. So that's some of the things we're going to get into today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this time as we're going to share with you how you can find your own ICP for you and your customers that you work with. So today, what we will unpack eventually, we're going to discuss how to identify your ideal clients, basically where to find them, right? And next, after that, we're going to find out everything about your ideal clients, their demographics, their psychographics, their behaviors. I'm going to tell you everything that you can do to basically find out how to speak to these ideal clients. And it's all going to connect along the way. So as we continue to move forward, you guys will understand the path becomes clear as we continue to walk forward. So after we finish dissecting our ideal clients, we're going to get into making decisions on what needs to be changed in our business to fit the description of what we found out about ideal clients today. Sound good? Okay, let's get started. Okay, so where do you think your ideal clients are? Let's start in your own backyard, okay? Your ideal clients actually live right where you are located, okay? They're not far from you. It's not a false imagination. So Sometimes when we put our pride aside and we start from little, get away from our own selfish gains that we try to earn and our big goals and our big dreams, we can eventually start looking at our ideal clients and that's like 5 miles away from us. And so Dre, you say, Dre, how can we do that? Well, when you start in your own backyard, you're looking at around 2 to 3 clients that you already have worked with. Okay. We want to look at specifically which clients gave you the best experience, which clients was most profitable, right? Which ones brought in most revenue for you, and most of all, which clients referred you the most. And this is only for existing businesses, people who've probably been in business for like 1, 2, or 5 years. So we want to ask those 3 questions to find our ideal clients first. That's real, right? That you may have worked with in the past and you enjoy the time, every moment with them. You look forward to hearing their voice. You look forward to more projects from them, right? So we want to make sure that we first start out by defining those 3 clients through asking these questions of which client gave you the best experience, which client was most profitable, and also which client referred you the most. Okay, so those are for people who've been in business 1, 2, 3, 4 years and you already had clients. We'll start with those questions. But if you haven't, let's say you're a startup and you haven't received any clients yet, right? You're new to the game. Well, you can look at starting up a business off looking at your competitors' reviews, right? So you can look at their Google My Business page, see what the previous clients said. So if you're a car shop, you can go to, Jiffy Lube or Pep Boys, look at their customer reviews and see what their customers say about them, right? And then you can gather that information and be able to put together an ideal client and the type of mindset they may have based off the reviews and feedback. So you can be able to speak to someone who's real and exists in your neighborhood. Also, I would say you can call a nearby business and then do a quick survey. Some people will give you their time if they see you trying to grow in business and you do what they do. They will give you a time to help you move forward. Pass them baton on. So you should look at possibly calling some of these local businesses around you in your same industry and finding out more about their clients and maybe they're prompting conversations on them helping you as well in a certain area. So these are 3 questions I would start out asking to actually find out your ideal clients that's right there in your backyard. And so once we have discovered, about 3 to 5 of those ideal clients we want to work with, we will then go further. We'll do some deep learning. We'll do some dissecting to find out where were these top 2 to 3 or 5 clients, where do they live? Like the demographics, what age were they, right? Their gender. Okay, so we'll look at these different demographics. Did they go to college or not? Did they all just stop at having a diploma in high school, right? So, or do they have a master's degree? So we'll look at these different demographics first and list that out about those top 3 to 5 favorite clients that we really enjoy working with and we want more of. Okay. So after that, we'll look at the psychographics, okay? Their mindsets, their lifestyles, how they spend their time, where they spend their time, right? So we'll look at their values, what they value, what they care about. Are they on any committees? Are they involved with anything that is different from anybody else I know, right? So if someone's like, they love being at hockey games, right? Or soccer games, right? Could be a soccer mom. Well, we want to look at that in the psychographics area because that's focused on family, right? So look at the demographics, psychographics, but do not stop there. We want you to check out their behaviors. If you don't know, you can call and ask these top 3 to 5 clients, do a quick survey and say, hey, when it comes to behaviors, what do they spend their time at? Are they on social media? Which social media channels? Where do they usually purchase from? Okay, so we look at where they spend the most money at. Like, do they spend money on ebooks, right? Audios. Do they do podcasts, right? So these are different things where we want to check out some of their behaviors and learn more. And if we don't have that information, we can call the previous clients to find out where they spend the most time. Another example would be Reddit. So if you're a startup business, like I said again, you can go on Reddit and find out all this information, find out all the pain points, all the problems, all the situations that your type of clients are dealing with, and it will give you realistic feedback, realistic emotions, realistic situations where these clients have either complained or they've actually shared great insight about how they enjoy working with similar businesses to yours. So you can gather that information to create your ideal clients because you know what? They live right in your neighborhood. So this is what we're started with dissecting our ideal clients, and this is going to get more simple as we go. And I have a great surprise for you along the way as well. So why is all this important? He said, Dre, you tell me all this information, but like truthfully, why does it matter? Right? So this matters because 80% of consumers are more likely to make a purchase when brands offer personalized experiences. We looked at a research study and they actually shared that this is one of the top ways to convert new business, right? Convert new clients. So when you're giving people a personalized experience, you're making a difference not only in your life, but you're making a difference in their life, right? Because I'm gonna give you an example. We worked with a men's clinic in the past. They knew their target market. They also knew their type of clients that they love to work with, such as they focused on married clients, people who are married, people who enjoy love, people in a relationship, right? So in this particular client, we took that information. We knew they were around 40 and up. We took all that information and we put it in our messaging. We put it in our advertising. We put it everywhere. And I'm telling you, it drove in sales. The percentages are increasing every single month, and the client is very satisfied. But you know what? He was one of the first clients that came to me with some deep details about his ideal clients that he enjoyed working with. So it was so simple and smooth to push out the messaging when working with this type of client because they already knew the type of client they were looking for. And not only to the area of like the basic stuff, they knew their age group, they knew they were married, they knew the lifestyle they live, the type of television shows they watch on a recurring basis, right? NFL, where men live at, where they spend their most time. They knew all that information, their behaviors. It makes a big difference whenever you can find out the type of client depth information that's needed to push in campaigns. And that way, when you go at your strategy, you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall. You know exactly who you're looking for, and you know they're out there. So this is why this is so important. I just wanted to share that with you. So you're like, Dre, okay, this is a lot of information. What am I going to do now? Okay. The good news is you're still breathing, you still have life, and days are coming forth for you. So you can start taking time to find out more about your ideal clients, how you can serve them, and also be able to share this message with someone else. I think this can help a whole lot of businesses grow in an area of not only their revenue, but in an area of clarity. One of the most important areas that you can have in business is clarity, knowing where you're going, knowing how you're going to move forward. So this provides clarity in every area of business, and you're not basically shooting for the moon. You're actually moving forward and going to be able to speak people who walk the same earth as you, who actually do the same things as you. So we want to make sure that we're able to know that, hey, we have time. We have time to adjust our messaging. We have time to adjust our strategies. We have time to sit back and think and do some research and compare apples to apples, right? And see how we can improve our businesses overall. So you have time. That's the good news. So once you decide you're going to make sure that you review all your assets, okay? Once you make that decision on your ideal clients, right, and you found your ICP, you're going to review all your assets such as content, your photos, your messaging. And then you're going to adjust and use all this information to make sure that you make it fit your ideal clients and the research that you've gained today. Okay. So this can be very, very effective because once you look at your ideal client research, and I'm going to give you something at the end that's going to help you with this. But once you've identified who that ideal client is, their psychographics, their demographics, their behaviors, and so that would be their age, their location, how they behave, where they spend their time, where they spend their money, what they enjoy doing. Once you found out that information, you'll be able to look at your current website, look at your current pictures, look at your current content and your messaging and saying, hey, does this really align with our ICP? Okay, ideal client profile. Does this really align with what we believe and what the people want? And does it really speak to their problems that they deal with on a daily basis in this specific industry? And once you look at the research that you've done, and then you look at your content, your social media and website, I want you to say, hey, what do I need to change about these photos? What type of videos do I need to start pushing out? Okay, what do I need to tweak in my messaging so it speaks directly to this person who's my ideal client? That's where we start. And so one of the businesses that I mentioned earlier, it was a men's clinic. We were able to push, they wanted people 40 and up. They wanted to focus on marriages. And we were able to simply push all that in our content messaging, the services that we created, speak directly to their problems that they were dealing with, and also on television. We were able to speak on a television advertising method, and that allowed it to drive in a ton of leads in the office, a lot of foot traffic. Because as soon as it came up, it's like, we know what you're dealing with. We want to help you. Here's the results that we already gotten for other people, and here's how we can actually do the same thing for you. So I want you to take that experience of what I just shared, and I want you to know that once you make this tweak, you're going to start running and attracting more of your clients. More of them will come into your office, giving you phone calls, knocking on your door. Why? Because you're the one standing out in your community. You're the one making a difference with your previous and past and current clients, because now when people come to the door, they're gonna be like, I don't need to work with this person. Or they're gonna say, I do need to work with this person. Okay. You want people making those type of decisions because it tells me that you know what you're doing. You're excluding those you don't need, and you're including those who you want more of and who you want to want more of and who you're going to be satisfied working with. And not only are you going to be satisfied working with them, they're going to be more pleased when working with you. Why? Because they know that they know you. And it's going to be an amazing relationship, and you're going to be able to produce more of those relationships on a recurring basis, and it's going to give you a peace of mind because you're not chasing after the win anymore. You're not going after everyone. You're going over this specific type of client that you really enjoy, and they're going to be satisfied, leave you a great review, and they're going to start referring you. Because why? Because you personalize everything for them, and it makes a difference, and it makes a significant impact in your client's life. So is there a faster way? I'm here to tell you there is a faster way. As you know, the biggest talk has been AI for the over the couple years, and you can take every bit of piece of information that was shared on this message today. And once you find your ideal client and you've done all the research, you can take everything and you can put it in AI and you can say, hey, create me 3 different ideal clients that match this information that I found online. Okay. So I would definitely start there if you're having challenges of once you find your psychographics, demographics, and you chose your top ideal clients that you really enjoy, you may have maybe even gave them a phone call to do a survey to find out more about them. Once you gather all this information about the type of clients who you've worked with and who enjoy working with you, and you want more of those type of clients, you'll put all the information you found in research in AI. It's really going to make a difference, and it's really going to speed things up for you. So you'll have around 3 clients that really come into your business, and they will enjoy, working with you once you push that information out in AI. And it's going to be able to, you can create many different prompts that's really going to speak to creating those ideal client portfolios. I'm gonna let you know the more specific you get with AI, the better it will produce the results you're looking for when it comes to ideal clients. So now you're all done. And I want you to give yourself a pat on the back because you've done it. You successfully completed your ideal client profiles. You now understand how to incorporate this new information into your business with the videos and the content and the messaging. And this is now your foundation for everything that you've built up. So I want you to reuse this information. And one of the biggest things I will let you know is that everything changes, okay? So your ideal clients, yes, they can change over time. People have asked me that question time and time again, and that will change over time. Why? Because customers' buyer decisions always change, and you want to make sure you fit their buyer decisions at the right time. Okay, so test it out. Always test different audiences too. Don't just stick to one specific type of ideal client. If you have three of them that you produce to test out, you can change it, right? Give it some time though, okay? And be consistent. And then if you find that you're bearing fruit and with one of the ideal clients that you created, that is going to, use it up until it saturate, right? Keep on executing until it dries up till there's no more. And then kind of like you may have to shift that's when you go into tactics, right? We start with strategy, then you go into tactics. You may switch your channel that you're using, right? So Facebook may be a different channel and it may work, one season, and then you got to switch to LinkedIn for your ideal clients, or maybe in person, right? So some of these tactics, you can continue to use the ICP, the ideal client profile, as your source, as your root, as your foundation for all the tactics that's out there, okay? So you'll always be in a mode of testing with these ideal clients and also with your strategies, but ultimately, the only thing that you need to focus on right now is keeping the foundation of your ideal clients with everything you do, okay? So today, I want to thank you so much for giving your time today to support our webinar. I hope this really makes a difference in your business. And as a thank you, if you click the link in the message that pops up on your right-hand side, I believe, there is a easy client survey that we made for you where you can go ahead and take advantage, get a head start on designing your ideal clients, asking the right questions, doing the homework, following up with some of your clients with some of the survey questions we have. And this will help you design your ideal clients. You can put in that chat GPT or AI tool that you use, and you'll be able to produce your ideal client profiles over and over again and shape it, mold it, clean it up as best as you like it. Then you can go out and test it. So I hope this actually helps upon your journey, and I hope it helps you scale your business and speak to those healthy clients that you enjoy working with. Next, please be on the lookout for our next webinar. We're going to try to aim to do one on the first of every month. This next webinar I'm probably most likely going to be doing after this will be focused on a bull's eye marketing strategy. I learned it from DuckDuckGo creator, one of the competitors with Google, and they actually, I'll get into it when we get on the webinar, but it's an amazing way to take the 19 marketing channels. There's plenty more now, but there's always new marketing channels being created. But the main 19 ones, and then seeing which one fits your industry, and then finding the right tactics to use along with your ideal clients, right? We want to keep that as the foundation. So you're going to be using tactics that are relevant to your industry to basically drive in some more of those ideal clients that you're looking for, okay? So that's what I'll be able to do on the next webinar. And if you have any questions, okay, let me know. You can reach me in two ways. Um, my email, dre@dbamarketingpros.com, or simply give me a call at 919-410-7416. That's our business number. We can be reached usually between the hours of 9 to 4. We're usually available, but we want to also provide you a walkthrough, right? A consultation where we give you a free 30-minute consultation where we can help you with your ideal client profile, help you find who they are, and help you with your strategy as well. So if you need any assistance in this area, feel free to contact us here to get that free consultation, and we'll be grateful to help you and make sure that you're having a lot of success when finding your ideal clients. So thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to continuing to work with you and hearing about your success when you find out your ideal clients. Have a great day.